Welcome to the FlexPrep Kit maxi-scale protocol. Resuspend your bacterial pellet or pellets. Vortex or pipette up and down to mix. Add lysis buffer and invert to mix. Do not vortex. Incubate for 2 minutes at room temperature. Add neutralization buffer. Invert to mix, but do not vortex. Centrifuge for 15 minutes at 4000 G or greater. After centrifugation, you may notice that a thin layer of debris will float on top of the liquid. This is normal and can be removed by careful decanting or pipetting. Transfer the clarified sample to a new tube and discard the pelleted material. There are 2 methods for the liquid transfer. The first method is decanting. Carefully decant the liquid to a new tube, taking care not to disturb the pellet in the bottom of the tube or the debris that was floating on top. The second method is using a serological pipette to transfer. Carefully use the serological pipette to push away any floating debris and remove the rest of the liquid with the pipette. Mix the farabine particles well before each use, as they tend to settle. Carefully add the farabine particles. Incubate for 5 minutes on a vortex shaker or mixer to bind the DNA to the farabine particles. Collect the particles on a magnetic rack. To speed the particle binding, carefully tip the rack back and forth. Discard the supernatant by decanting. Add wash buffer 1. Mix by vortexing. Collect the particles on a magnetic rack. Sometimes particles will stick to the walls of the tube. Wash these stuck particles off the tube wall by tipping the tube back and forth. Discard the supernatant by decanting. Add wash buffer 2. Mix by vortexing. Collect the particles on the magnetic rack. Discard the supernatant by decanting. An optional step is to centrifuge for 1 minute at 200 to 500 G to pull residual ethanol and particles to the bottom of the tube. This will make removing residual wash buffer much easier. Remove residual wash buffer with a pipette. It is absolutely essential for all downstream applications that residual ethanol has been removed. Air dry the pellet for at least 10 minutes. Add elution buffer and mix by pipetting. Incubate for 5 minutes. Collect the particles on a magnetic rack. Transfer the purified DNA to a clean tube. The maxi-prep scale reaction is now complete. You may move on to any downstream application.